This is a good one. Police say Antifa commander cried in fetal position after getting caught. Posted September 2nd. Today. Antifa has been terrorizing cities across the U.S. in recent months. But how courageous are these black-clad anarchists? Let's take a look at what happened over the weekend when Green Bay police responded to a call about threatening white people with sticks, baseball bats, and helmets headed towards the police. According to WBAY, Matthew Bana, 23, also known as Commander Red, vicious sounding, was found with a flamethrower, fireworks, and smoke grenades heading to a demonstration. When police caught up to him, he dropped into a fetal position and began crying, the officer said. A responding officer says he saw 4 individuals walking towards a protest with baseball bats. One man was wearing a metal helmet with goggles and military-style gear with multiple pouches and was carrying an Antifa flag. When the officer pulled his squad car in front of the group, they ran away. The officer caught Banta, who was carrying the flag, and says Banta dropped to the fetal position and began crying. He accused the officer of lying on him. The officer replied no one was on him. That's just kind of funny because it reads like, oh, that officer's not telling the truth about me, and then the officer replies that no one was on top of him, But actually, no, what he meant was the officer laid down on top of him like he was a pretty lady. But the officer said that never happened. It's hard for me to trust Antifas, See what this guy looks like. Mother of God. I think I found the only person in the world that has TDS because Trump has a better complexion than him. If this guy's eyeballs were sunk any further into the back of his head, he looks like a little spoiled rich kid with a bad case of meth mouth. This kid looks like he's never touched a heavy object in his life, much less lifted one. If this kid was an animal, he'd be like the ugly dog with the underbite at the pound that no one picks, and then when they put him down, they actually feel good about it because it's a mercy. I bet this guy has never had sex with a woman who was conscious. When they were talking about, regretful sex being rape a while back, how if a woman wakes up the next day and she regrets having sex or something, then she was technically raped? Yeah, this guy right here is like the poster child for why that would be a thing. This guy has a really weak chin, but the rest of his body makes it look pretty strong. Sure, as far as normal people go, he's like a degenerate scumbag, but as far as communists go, he's kind of average. This kid is so ugly his mother probably breastfed him through a straw. This kid went to the proctologist and the doctor stuck his finger in his mouth. This guy's gotta be a fucking vegan because his skin's translucent. Which that would make sense, because veganism and communism are both wonderful things if you don't like food. This guy hates capitalism so much his fucking name is in lowercase. It makes sense that someone like this would hate capitalism. Capitalism is basically the idea of free trade and free market competition. This guy couldn't win a race to the bottom. Could you imagine being this guy's dad and waking up every day and looking at this ugly mug and thinking to yourself, that was my strong sperms? I wouldn't even bail this fucking kid out. I'd be like, hey, can I donate to the prosecution? Yeah, I know he's my son, but fucking look at him. This has been DWB. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't be a fucking commie.
And it's up in Kenosha, that's where I long to be, protecting gas stations with commandos next to me. A comrade on me left, another one on me right, and a couple mags of ammo for me little Armalite. Well, this brave BLM man came marching up our street, 600 and our kiddies he had lined up at his feet. Come out, you cowardly Nazis, come on out and fight. He cried, I'm only joking, when he heard the Armalite. And it's up in Kenosha, that's where I long to be, protecting gas stations with commandos next to me. A comrade on me left, another one on me right, and a couple mags of ammo for me little Armalite. Well, the commies came to visit me, 'twas in the late hours, with communists and anarchists attacking parked cars. They thought they had me cornered, but I gave them all a fright, with the arm-piercing bullets from me little Armalite. And it's up in Kenosha, that's where I long to be, protecting gas stations with commandos next to me. A comrade on me left, another one on me right, and a couple mags of ammo for me little Armalite. To my city there came joggers, they shouted I can't breathe. They burned down all the buildings and they all refused to leave. They rioted and looted, they went strong for 80 nights, until I started aiming with me little Armalite. And it's up in Kenosha, that's where I long to be, protecting gas stations with commandos next to me. A comrade on me left, another one on me right, and a couple bags of ammo for me little Armalite. The Reds came to Kenosha to riot just for fun. The DNC had told them that the cops were on the run, but communists and primates, while on a jog at night, say remember Kyle Slaughter and the bloody Armalite. And it's up in Kenosha, that's where I long to be, protecting gas stations with commandos next to me. A comrade on me left, another one on me right, and a couple mags of ammo for me little Armalite.